Good morning, Everytama. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to build a cat-shaped house thanks to my dumbass saying this.
Giant cat-shaped couch. We can't have that, but we can dream. We can dream of a giant cat-shaped house. A couch. We can make a giant cat-shaped house. That's not hard.
This video is going to be quite long, so let's get right into it. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I'm trying to do a heart. Am I doing it? Anyway, as you might have seen from the title, we are going to attempt an interesting Sims build today. Committing war crimes. Yes, we are going to commit war crimes today. So here's what I'm thinking. I was thinking that I could make it all cat themed. Also, there's a My First Pets pack that I don't have that I kind of want to get for this build. I want to use only the base game and the cats and dogs and the My First Pets packs. We'll be Simsing. Let's go. Bow, bow, bow. I feel like building this cat-shaped house is going to be harder than we're all thinking. Okay, here's the plan. Boys, the plan is simple. So remember how I said this was going to be easy and that the plan was simple? Yeah, I lied. This was, I think, the hardest build I've ever done, and that includes the previous cursed house and all the crazy shell challenges I've done. And I did the circle shell thinking that was the most difficult thing ever. I was wrong. This is harder. Not only does this build have a ton of round walls, it also isn't very big, even though it looks huge from the outside because it's so tall. In the left bottom corner, you can see that I have a tiny, very crude drawing that I used to plan out the shape of the house, but I thought we had 5 floors to work with when really we only had 4. So I built this thinking it would be taller, and then I had to fix all of that when I realized it could only have 4 floors. I cut a bunch of that out of this video though, because if I had left it in, this would be like an hour long. Also, this was streamed live on Twitch, which, by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitch yet, please do. It's twitch.tv/PurritoVT. I stream every weekday at 9 AM CET, and we have a points redeem there for cat paws. So that's why you sometimes see me wearing those fuzzy cat paws in the bottom corner. They are so hard to play The Sims with. My chat always redeems them to bully me when we play competitive games like Fall Guys or Mario Kart, but with the controller, it's not that hard to ignore the cat paws. But with The Sims, the problem is I kind of need precision to place things with my mouse, and that for some reason is hard with the cat paws on. Anyway, this build took me 1.5 streams, and a big reason for that was because of how hard it was to make a floor plan for this round wall nightmare. I'm already not good at floor plans, so this was really testing my skills or lack thereof. I'm also just a slow builder. For instance, I tried to build a tiny house recently, and including landscaping, that took me a little under 3 hours, and I think that might be longer than it takes me to build an actual house, because in the tiny one I really had to puzzle in all the necessities like in a calculated way, whereas in just a house I can make rooms bigger and smaller to better fit the purpose. So who the knows how long it actually takes me. Back to the build at hand. Twitch chat came up with the idea of coloring the house to look like my cat Bean. So the house is all black with some white spots, which really contrasts the inside, which is super colorful and bright. Inside, I started by placing the stairs and then figuring out the floor plan and placing basic items in the room so I don't forget, which I completely changed later anyway, so I didn't have to do this. But I'm just very indecisive, and this shape I was working with wasn't really helping. I put ladders to the top floors because it was so small that I couldn't fit stairs, and you'll see why later, but that is going to be a real hazard to the person that lives here. I did put fences around it, but I don't think fences are gonna help them much in the specific situation that they are likely gonna find themselves in. But because the floor plan was so fucked, I figured I'd start upstairs on the 2nd floor. Since I wanted to make the whole house cat themed, I decided to have a whole floor dedicated to cats. Your sim can go there, but there isn't really a reason except to clean the litter boxes, which I placed in this like walled off area so that it's a bit more private for the cats, but no door of course, because how would they open it with their little cat paws? I know cats can use doors in The Sims, but I want this cat-shaped house to be realistic, okay? I did also put a sink in the cat bathroom, which they can can't use in The Sims, but cats love sinks, so who am I to deny them their basic human/feline rights? This room was a little hard to decorate, partially because of the round walls, but mainly because I have never decorated a giant room for cats before. Like, I've heard of people having a designated litter box room, which is usually just a very tiny room or like an area under the stairs where Harry Potter lives, but I've never heard of someone's entire second floor being just for their cats, so I wasn't sure how to furnish this. It has everything a cat needs, both in The Sims and in real life. Like, it has 2 cat condos and another smaller one, 2 litter boxes, 3 bowls, a toy chest, a cabinet/side table, which is also the reason I failed to do this with only the base game and the pet packs, because it's from Laundry Day. Another side table, which is from the first pet stuff pack. I mean, what more could a cat ever want? Sure, it does end up looking a bit empty, but they're cats, they don't know what good interior design is. I do. This is it. This is what peak home design looks like. Also, I don't know what range of colors cat can see, but I made this room very colorful. Alright, I'm back from learning the feline vision spectrum, and as it turns out, they can see almost all colors except for red, which is just brown to them, but hey, at least they can see these cute f***ing blinds I picked out for them and this adorable green flower wallpaper. I honestly think this room could look really cute with some actual furnishings, like maybe a couch and some chairs or even a bed, but those are for humans, and this floor is for cats. So instead of doing that, I just scattered a bunch of toys on the floor because, as we all know, cats don't clean up. Quite the opposite, actually. Anyway, the Laundry Day side table thing isn't a huge deal because if you decide to download this house, which you can, my name on the gallery is Willow554. I'm on my fiance's Origin account, but I don't know why you'd want to. You could just replace that with a different side table. It's not like a weird shape or size or anything. I'm looking at the build in the gallery right now, and I apparently also used a door and a rug from the high school years, and for the outside I used a fence from Cottage Living pack. I did also use a side table from the Desert Lux kit, but if you didn't pick that up when that was free, that's your mistake, not mine. I did that very purposefully. Anyway, it's on the gallery. It's called Meowtown Meowdos, and you could even download it without having these packs if you want to just make a little fun shell challenge out of it. And by fun, I mean torture, because that is what round walls do. Honestly, I expected this house to look better, but I also thought it would have more floors, so... Hey, I'm back. What's up? I just went to the store real quick because if I don't do groceries when the motivation hits, I don't eat for a week. Anywho, where are we? Oh yeah, the outside. Now we've moved on to making the patio that was very painful to make. I had to remake this like 2 or 3 times because of the fucking rounded walls just being so cooperative. And it was super tedious filling on all those little gaps with the triangle platform, but in the end, I succeeded in possibly the easiest task in human lives, making a cat sit in a box. Even though it's not really a box because it doesn't wrap around entirely, but close enough. Really, I only made the patio because otherwise I couldn't add stairs to the door, but we'll just pretend it was a good, well thought out joke. Back inside, I reattempted to come up with a somewhat of an okay floor plan. I kind of regret starting with the second floor because I was really struggling with the stairs just being in the middle of this small house, and I kept trying to make separate rooms, but there just wasn't enough space, so I ended up just having an open floor plan. I started off by putting in the kitchen. At this point, I was still blissfully unaware that I'd already failed to furnish the house with only base game and pet stuff, so I'm just using these base game counters. The fridges in this game fucking suck, because when placed on a tile, it's not close enough to the counter and it has a gap, so I always have to alt place them to touch the counter. I feel like I should address the fact that half the kitchen is tucked away in this little corner, but I don't want to, so we're just going to ignore it. Speaking of that little corner, it for some reason kept breaking the cabinet I wanted to place on it, to the point where I just didn't even put one there. I think it's probably for the best though, since there already isn't so much space in this kitchen. Maybe if you counted the wall on the other side, but it's round, and I am not making a round kitchen. Actually, I might have just given myself another video idea. Can I just unsay that? I can't, can I? Anyway, on that side, I decided to put the dining table, and you'll see this later, but I swapped the chairs out for these adorable chairs from the first Pets pack that have like cat ears, or maybe it's hamster, I don't know, but they are adorable. I probably won't be using them much, unfortunately, at least not in dining rooms, but it could be a cute computer chair for a kid. This other corner, I made the living room. Honestly, looking at this, I feel like I could have done a much better job than what I did here, but the round walls just confused the heck out of me. But in retrospect, I wish I would have made the living room face the round wall. It just makes more sense than what I actually did, which took me way too long, by the way. I cut a bunch of it out, but I was really struggling with what furniture to use and the shape and size of said furniture, especially because of the pack limitations I gave myself. I think it turned out to look okay, but I wish I would have put more thought into placing things nicely rather than how to cram everything into a corner. I also think the furniture is so weird in the living room. I tried to make it cohesive, but honestly, the Cats and Dogs pack and the First Pets pack have such drastically different styles. Like Cats and Dogs has this really weathered looking wood furniture, and First Pets has a bunch of kids furniture and a giant fish tank table, which I did end up using in this living room. The packs do have some overlapping furniture, like that weird rounded nightstand now has some friends, but it was honestly so hard to use the two packs together. My chat keeps saying how this table is a safety hazard for the fish that live in it, considering this is a house for cats, but you can obviously see that the top and the sides, and I assume also the bottom of the fish tank, is covered by glass, so if anything, the cats are not their most pressing problem, it's probably starvation. Speaking of starvation, I am currently sick, and every time I eat or drink something, my stomach hurts. Am I turning into a vampire? It was just Halloween 5 days ago, 6 if this video goes out on the day it's supposed to, so who knows? I put some plants behind the couch because I didn't know what to do with that weird space, and when I don't know what to do with a space, I usually put plants, and this house is no exception, except for that most plants are toxic to cats, but hopefully the fish table distracts them enough to stop them eating my goddamn plants. Sorry, not mine, the Sims plants. But also my cats needs to stop doing that too. In the kitchen, I put some clutter that the cats will inevitably knock off the counters, and a nice cookie jar on the table for them to steal from. Do your cats do that? Cause mine do. One of them will literally eat a whole sandwich if it's left unattended, and then the other one will be chewing the plastic it came in. She doesn't eat it or anything, she'll just chomp down on it. For this weird small room in the left paw, I wanted to make a hamster room. No, I'm not mispronouncing hamster, they are hamster, okay? And again, my chat complained about how this was dangerous to the hamsters and that the cats will eat them, and even though that might be true, I just didn't want to not include them because they are basically the only real reason to buy the First Pets pack. They are the first pet. If you didn't have a miserable little hamster in a cage that was way too fucking small when you were a kid, were you really a kid? But in all seriousness, I do like that the hamsters in The Sims have big cages. It teaches us that even though Sims are dumb as fuck, at least they know how to care for animals. Until they run away of neglect, of course. Anyway, I spent way too long placing these fake hamster tunnel decals on the wall, but honestly, it looks kinda dope. I'd hang out in there if I was a hamster. I also placed this giant hamster rug on the floor that looks like they skinned one of the giant hamsters from South Park. That was actually a guinea pig, but same difference. Besides that, not much going on in this room except for a bunch of hamsters. Moving on to the hallway, there isn't really much to say about this. I promise I did really try to make this a nice house, but for some reason, it's looking even more cursed than the cursed house we made, which, if you haven't seen that, please do go watch it. It's a 4-part series where I build and furnish the worst house to ever be built, but on the inside it accidentally turned out really nice. Unlike this house, which is supposed to be cute, but looks like an IKEA just threw up all over it. I don't dislike IKEA, they have something for everybody, which is exactly why this house is shit. Honestly, it's not even that bad. I'm sure someone would live here. That someone is not me though. And here we have another corner that looks like it could benefit from housing way too fucking many plants. It's funny that I do this because in real life I only have one tiny plant that sits on my desk. His name is Vinny the Vine. I live with my mom and she sucks at taking care of plants, so he's the only real plant in this house, and I'm just so impressed with myself that he's still alive. Like I said, I discovered those cat ear chairs and I swapped the dining chairs out for them and made them all different colors for like a cute mismatched aesthetic. Then I cluttered up the entryway with the usual stuff like a coat hanger and a shoe rack and some cat food on the floor for easy access for the cats. I don't know if cats use doggy doors in The Sims, but I put one next to the door anyway in case they do. I don't know why they don't have cat doors though. I hated when my Sims cats walks into a room unannounced by opening the door and then they're too small for me to see, so I'm just like, why did that door just open and close? It wasn't a ghosts because I would see them. I cut out most of the part where I make the water closet because I think we all know what it looks like, you know, toilet, sink, not much else. I did want to leave in the part where I put in the wall art because I think this unironically made it one of, if not the most cutest room in the whole house. To avoid doing the dreaded upstairs rooms, I put some more cat-related objects in the living room because that's who this house is for. Humans are secondary in this build, but unfortunately I couldn't postpone the upstairs any longer. The time to suffer even more has come. Now for the third floor, I had absolutely no idea what to do. At first I thought it could be a bedroom, but it was impossible to fit a double bed in it, and I could have just gone for a single bed, but what if this sim meets someone that loves cats just as insanely fucking much as they do, and they move in and adopt more fur babies together? Now that I say that, I could have made it a kid's room, but that's not what we're doing here today. We're doing cats, not kids. So instead I moved on to the bedroom upstairs and separated that room so they could have a nice bathroom with a shower and a tub. They do have to climb up 2 ladders and a set of stairs to get there, but hopefully that just deters the random townies from going up and using the fucking computer all the goddamn time. I hate these tiny single tile desks they have in this game, but it did come in pretty handy here, even though it does look like it belongs in a children's bedroom, which this is not. This is a bedroom for a cat and hamster loving adult. I did have to change the nose of the house out for a roof because I was using the cottage living roof decoration and I didn't want to fill my already filled challenge, but that also gave us a little more room to work with up here, so I'm not mad. I did this a couple of weeks ago on stream, so I don't remember what I was thinking exactly, but I can tell from the video that I'm getting really tired of these round walls and just don't know what to do with them. Like, I left all the walls in the bedroom empty because I just wasn't feeling like putting decorations on them, and these packs don't exactly have the most beautiful, intricate paintings in them. I did put some plants down and a TV so the sim wasn't completely miserable. I'd probably spent most of my time in the cat room anyway. For the bathroom, I chose to make the tiles the same dusty rose type flesh color as the bedroom. As if this build was not disturbing enough already, now the cat-shaped house has flesh inside. But it has been done now and there's no undoing it. I don't know why I gave myself such a big fucking bathroom again. You'd think that I'd learned from the last time, but no, here we are, so we're gonna try and fill it up as much as possible. It also has a weird bump out in the middle of the only straight wall, so that's fun. I tried using furniture with the same muted sort of color scheme we have going on up here, which would be nice on the cat's limited visual spectrum, but sadly they won't be enjoying it because cats can't climb ladders. Actually, I think in real life cats could probably climb ladders. They're very nimble. They don't need to because those guys can jump on anything, but wouldn't it be so much more fun if they did? Anyway, since the bathroom is so big, I decided to have separate bathtub and shower to fill up some of that extra space, but I was still left with the whole other side of the room. I'm so happy they're releasing a clutter kit soon. If you missed it, they leaked 2 new packs recently, one full of pastel furniture and some new wallpapers, and one that I'm really excited for that is literally just clutter. I'm not great at cluttering in The Sims, partially because I'm just too lazy to scroll through debug, so some more clutter options is going to hopefully help me out a lot, and I also hope that some of that stuff is functional. Like in the teaser images, there's this workout flask that I would really like to see actually being used. Maybe while jogging? Even if that isn't the case though, I am so excited for this kit to come out. I have been in dire need of some useless doodads. I think this bathroom turned out pretty nice. I wouldn't hate having this bathroom in my house. It's nice and spacious. It's well decorated if I do say so myself. The only problem is that I would probably not want to climb all those ladders after a hard day's work, but who am I kidding? I never leave my desk anyway, and that's right there behind the door, so I see no reason why I wouldn't want this. Just add a mini fridge and I'm set for life. We're back on the 3rd floor, and I was honestly so lost when I started trying to furnish this again, and this time you'll see why I said it was probably a bad idea to have ladders in this house. You see, at first Twitch chat was like, oh, make a gym, and I tried it for a bit to make that work, but it was just too small to have any workout equipment in there, so I started putting other skill items in there when I noticed the bar fit perfectly in between the ladder and the wall. Yes, that's right, this is a bar. This somehow really motivated me to decorate decorate this room, even though it's so small and it's probably the one room I should have used less wall decorations. But at least the cats won't come up here and knock the drinks off the tables. If anything, it would be drunk people using the ladders that knock shit off the tables. Like, just imagine a bunch of drunk people trying to move around this tiny ass room and going downstairs. It just wouldn't work. Luckily, if they break their legs, they'll be in the cat room where they can spend their last moments getting hissed at by Mr. Fluffles or something. Alright, we've arrived at the last part, which is the backyard where my chat wanted me to make the tail into a pool, but I am too dumb to know how to do that, so instead they got a small pool in the corner. Does this game even have round pools? I don't think they do. EA, why would you give us round walls but not round pools? Am I crazy? Is that too much to ask? Maybe. Anyway, I accidentally used some fences from Cottage Living, but it doesn't matter anyway because I already filled my self-imposed challenge. Instead of a pool, I made the tail into a cute little patio, which took me way longer than I'd like to admit. Luckily, I don't have to admit it because you're here watching it, so you know how fucking slow and all over the place I am anyway. Seriously, if this build looks like there was no thought process behind it, that's because there isn't. I'm just zooming all over the place and trying to make this monstrosity look somewhat passable. In retrospect, I wish I would have made the pool bigger, like along the fence, because the rest of the patio looks really fucking sad. But that's not part of the cat anyway. This is cat house, not patio house. So I did decorate the tail part of the patio with some outside dining furniture and a lounge chair and a bench just to make it not so super sad. Also, obviously some plants. Seriously, every empty corner I find will get a plant in it. I'm sorry, it's the laws of Mother Nature. I didn't make the rules. If you have made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you for watching. I know it was a long one, so it means a lot to me that you let me torture you with this absolute fucking shit show of a house. If you liked it, consider watching my previous videos where I build and decorate an incredibly cursed house that exists in real life. It's a good time. Also, I would love to hear what you think of this house in the comments. Would you have made an entire floor that's just for cats? Or would you have done something less unhinged? Also, don't forget that the Sims 4 base game is now free, so go and pick it up and make some awful houses. Or don't, I'm not your mom. Anyway, here's a quick little tour of the house and the birth of a beautiful new Sim family for it. Voiceover Rito, out. So there you have it. It is finished. The cat home. Down here, we've got the entryway for both cat and human. We've got hamster room, human bathroom for human, living room for both human and cat, dining room slash kitchen slash the ceiling sucks, and a really hidden away fridge here and sink. Up the stairs we have cat paradise with a cat bathroom, you know, everything a cat could want. Then up here you have a bar, so you know, make of that what you will. And then up here is the human living space where you can sleep and shower and bathe and brush your teeth and look in the mirror in disappointment. And then when we go back downstairs, we have some swimming pool, patio, just you know, generally just stuff. We should definitely put like animal toys over here. We should make a sim to move in here. Okay, we're gonna give him 3 cats. Yes, you're beautiful and gorgeous. Okay, yeah. Okay. This guy is obviously an animal lover. Oh, he dislikes green? Okay, you can't dislike green. You have to like green. Socially awkward? Okay, Yonedo, that makes sense. That makes sense. You've got 3 cats. First name, last name. Eugene Winston. And his 3 cats, Sprinkles, Kitty, and Brandy. Oh my god, this picture. Ooh. Well, Eugene, enjoy your house with your cats. That was a good time. Okay, bye.